Om Namah Shivaya. So before we introduce tonight's program, we'd like to welcome Zuleika, who arrived to the ashram today. Let's give her a big hand. So she'll be presenting a program for the next 3 days entitled Healing Movement for Body, Heart, and Soul. So that will start tomorrow in the evening satsang. And tonight so last night we heard a beautiful lecture and practices with Shyamji Bhatnagar. And then again today he had a workshop here. So let us welcome him, Shyamji.
Thank you, Narayani. Today we will focus on the light of the chakras, how it can help us to remove the ignorance, avidya it is called, and take us to the real self that we really are. There are certain mantras I would like to introduce to you, but we will have to wait for them a little bit. In the meantime, I can talk about the mechanics of how it really works. In our culture, Advaita Guru Sri Shankaracharya has given us a clear understanding that we have two choices, either to be under the field of the mind or to rise above the field of the mind. The only way we can rise above the field of the mind if we know what the mind stuff is. Because if we go by our feelings, which are changing all the time, if we go with our thoughts, which are also changing all the time, and if we go with the body is changing all the time, how can we ever know the unchanging self when everything that we have is changing? You see, there are two principles that are working at the same time. One is self and one is non-self. The other way to put it is, one is principle of energy, and the other is the principle of stillness. I'm sure most of you have seen a Shivalinga. There is Yoni and there is a Shivalinga. There is a Shiva and there is Shakti. Shakti is energy, Mother Goddess. Shiva is her consort. But Shiva can only be attained when your three bodies are still. To make the physical body still, Mahadeva recommended 84 asanas. When you are able to do 84 asanas, your third chakra, which is the ego center, it gives in. Your knees surrender. And they come down to the earth. Yesterday I was telling you the story about my publisher. He didn't want to see the knees down. But knees have to come down to earth. Until the knees come down to earth, we have to keep doing asanas. Once the body becomes an upward pointing triangle, it has a chance to become still. Because when the body is still, then the breath can be still. Let's take a little bit of information from Swar Yoga. S-V-A-R, Swar. Swar means a tone, but it's referred to the tone of the breath. Normally, according to Swar Yoga, we breathe in 21,600 times a day. But that was thousands of years ago. These days, if you read the books on psychiatry, they suggest that anywhere between 3,000 or more breaths per day we take in, which means that we have been progressively breathing faster as a race, human race. Swar Yoga also says that you are in the state of dhyana, which means meditation, if your average rate of breathing becomes 4 breaths per minute. Average rate of breathing, according to Swar Yoga, in those days were about 15, 16 breaths per minute. So when you sit down quiet, naturally your rate of breathing will fall. And that is the beauty of doing the mantra. Mantra can produce Surya Akasha, which can relax you so much that your rate of breathing will come down. We're going to do that tonight, and more maybe tomorrow, depending on if we can find a place where the Surya Akasha can be absorbed, the effect of sound. We had to find a place in Pennsylvania where I do the sound work. 2 architects, they built a place. Very quiet. It's in the middle of a forest. 11 acres of woods. And then we have our center. No more than 12 to 13 people can be accommodated at a time. But this is where you can experience coming to the 4 breaths per minute. Because the rate of breathing is so important, ultimately, of course, you totally stop breathing when you go from the 6th chakra, you go to the 7th. There's no breath coming in or going out. Buddha attained a samadhi which lasted 7 days. That means for 7 days he didn't breathe in or out. And the body doesn't die, the brain doesn't die. Because when the seventh chakra light pervades in the waking state, you don't need any prana. It's already stored in there. That is what's called samadhi. Because breathing takes place in duality. Samadhi takes place in the union. When Shiva and Shakti become one, then only Shiva exists. Light of the first chakra helps us to overcome the idea that I am this body. And the color of that is yellow, lemony yellow. The light, which is more of a clear, like watercolor, that helps us overcome that I am this gender, I am this man. The light of the fire is the third chakra light. That helps us overcome our identity with our work. I have a relative who is a judge of Supreme Court. He's retired now. His wife at home calls him judge. That's his nickname. There is such an identification with a social role that even the family refers to him as a judge. These are all social roles, and when you have sufficient light from the chakra coming to you, then you realize that this is a social role. That's not really you. It's the green light of the heart chakra that opens up all the possibilities for the unconditional love to arise. And that love is for the sanctuary that's also in the heart chakra. There's a small little chakra called Hrit Padma, H-R-I-T, Hrit Padma. Padma means lotus. Why are the chakras compared with the lotus? That's a very important point to understand. Lotus is a flower that is so pure. First of all, it grows in the muddy waters. But if accidentally a drop of muddy water will fall on it will let it roll off without leaving a track. Any other flower, whether it's rose or lily or something, you will see the muddy track. When the muddy water will roll off, you will see a track. Lotus will not allow it. Lotus is so pure. And this is the way to understand chakras. Chakras are absolutely pure. They are pure spinning lights, they're discs of lights, shining, giving the light unconditionally. We just have to be able to receive that light. Just like our sun. If you don't expose your body to the sun, you don't get the benefit from it. How do you expect to get any light from the chakras if you don't expose yourself to that light? And that light shines upon us, reaches us through our spine. In fact, our spine is an antenna. But you have to keep it. You have to keep it, what is it called? Vertical. Otherwise, the age will cause you to come forward. Don't allow it. That's why yoga is so important. Keep your, my Guruji used to say, your spine should be like your thumb. Thumb, everybody has a different structure of thumb. And your spine is like your thumb. So that's your goal. You want to keep it like that. It will take a little bit of a work, but once you know it, then you know how to get grounded, so that your last vertebrae, they are sitting in contact with earth. Yellow light will come in. In microchakra psychology, I mention about what are the first chakra related problems. At the physical level, they'd be, of course, constipation, diarrhea, piles, hemorrhoids, that kind of disorders. They're all first chakra related. At the psychological level, feeling insecure, lack of confidence. So each chakra is giving us a physical comfort or discomfort, or a psychological comfort or discomfort. In fact, I met a psychoanalyst once who had me teach microchakra psychology to 12 psychiatrists every Sunday. I used to make pancakes for them and teach them chakra psychology. Yes. And when I said that there is a first chakra posture of sleep, my God, 3 people there raised their hand, which means that they are living with the first chakra problem. What is that posture? Sleeping on the stomach. Because when you sleep, you get the deep sleep on the stomach. What is happening? You are clinging to the Mother Earth. There have been so many crib deaths when the doctors used to tell the mothers to put their babies to sleep on the stomach. A few decades ago, they changed their mind. Now they put the babies to sleep on the back. One of the worst mistakes mankind has made is to pay attention to Freud. Freud caused the babies to get out of the bedroom, allowed them to have a separate room. There is no mammal that leaves their baby alone. Look at our closest animals, our relatives. Who are they? Chimps? Monkeys? Have you ever seen a monkey baby without the mother? They cling to the mother like this. And the mother is jumping from one tree to another. And that little thing is holding on to mama. It's a mammalian instinct to want to cling until we are old enough, mature enough to be separated. If not, all your lives you will be looking for hugs. Because what can I say? Whatever you haven't gotten is what you are looking for. Hungry looks for the food, thirsty looks for the water. That was the worst mistake. And mankind followed it blindly. Eventually, it's like David, my co-author, he says, Shyamji, you are just a couple of 100 years ahead of your times. Write the book and forget if anybody pays attention to it or not. I said, if they don't pay attention, I'll go around the world, talk about it, until people get it. We are mammals. We need to be with our mothers. One couple comes to me, they're dating. Shyamji, would you marry us? Because we don't want to go through this regular marriage routine. I said, I can, but are you able to give the first 3 years of your life to your child? If you can't, I can't. I can't do the ceremony. Every mother has to allow 3 years for the child. Right channel age until the energy, the light, you know what is happening? Look at the baby, how intelligent the babies are. God. The babies are doing a headstand or a shoulder stand for 40 weeks inside the mother's body. So every baby is a yogi. It's only when they come out they forget that they are a yogi. Lucky ones find yoga in their lives. You are that group. You found the yoga. And the reason why the babies are on their head is because they want the crown chakra part of the body to develop first. So they take advantage of gravity and they keep their head down. But then another problem arises that blocks the micro chakras. Half the micro chakras get blocked by the time the baby is born. Half of them. So sad. My heart cries when I see these innocent, speechless babies mistreated, rather ill-treated. I mean, you can just imagine yourselves. You put the baby to sleep. In an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the baby probably soils the diaper. Baby is uncomfortable. Baby calls for help. Now they make the bedrooms for the babies far away enough so parents can't hear it. I know an architect who's building high-rises in Bombay. And they have a formula. So many feet away the sound can travel of the baby so that the parents are not disturbed. So when the baby is uncomfortable, all the baby can do is to cry to let you know that I want a change. Maybe they poop. They do want a change. But nobody is home. So what do? They kick their legs in frustration. They cry, nobody hears it. They stay soiled. Again they pee 2 hours later. Maybe they poop again. Because they've been given a big bottle to drink that milk that comes in like gulping, not even drinking. The jaws don't develop because they're not breastfed, because doctor says, oh, formula milk has more nutriments than the mother's milk. You don't have to be suffering and giving breast milk to the babies. What a brainwash. And we buy into it because we have learned to surrender to the authority. Babies suffer. And my heart goes out. When I saw those teenagers in 1960 when I came to America, 14, 15, 18-year-olds taking drugs, I had about 200 or 300 of them, washing them, cleaning them, felt their back and found the microchakras locked. Totally lost generation. In fact, thank God for that, because microchakra psychology came into existence because of that. I would have had no reason for this vision to have taken place because my mind was so occupied that what can I do for these kids? See, the anger and frustration is a learned phenomena in the first 3 years of life. And what happens when we become adults? You know what is a war? War is a a combined anger of a nation. We will be talking about some nice things too as soon as these sounds stop. But I have to kind of fill you in with what's all in my mind and how important it is for us to really raise babies that can become not only decent citizens, we are spiritual beings. We are beings of light. And we think we are made up of flesh. First transformation that will take place when you have your spiritual self awakens, that you realize that you live in this body. You are not this body. You live in it. We live in this body. Because when our parents mated, we enter. Subject enters. It's not just the sperm fertilizing an egg. Something is entering in that union. And that's who we really are. That's Atma that is entering there. I have no proof for that, but I have a proof that when the Atma leaves the body, you can see all the graveyards. That's my proof. Atma has left. If we were the body, wouldn't we take our body with us? Maybe we'll take our bank account with us too. Not only the body. No. We enter and we exit. Light from the chakras is what brings us the knowledge that where is their illusion, where is there an appearance. These are false appearances. Until we see them with the light of the chakra, then it becomes obvious that obviously I'm not this body, I live in it. That's the first transition that takes place in the human awareness. And when the light of the fifth chakra, from sky blue to ultraviolet, is the range of the colors in the fifth chakra. That light is so extraordinary because it opens up the wisdom from previous lives. You become aware of your own previous lives. I have had people tell me that. How many of you have heard of a psychiatrist named the head of the department, University of Charlottesville? What's his name, Marina? R.I. Stevenson. His latest book was a study of 1,000 toddlers who he helped to recall their past lives. In 1940s, he wrote the first book, 24 Cases of Reincarnation, in which one of them was from a town where I was raised, in India. His latest one is 1,000 interviews of the children, who he extensively, the book read. You can go on his website. Just go R.I. Stevenson. You look him up and you will see. Whole body of literature on reincarnation is no longer a faith or a religious dogma. No, it's a fact. It's Atma that goes from single cell amoeba till the human being. We have made it all the way up till here. Must have done some good karma. So light of the chakras is there. We just have to be there receiving it. Learn about the rhythm of the chakras. Starts from the bowel rhythm to the rhythm of your breathing based on the movement of the sun and moon. in the form of a prana calendar. Complimentary copy available on our website. I want mankind to just pay attention to it and make use of it. That's why we give it as a complimentary, along with a couple of mantras that are also available at no cost. Looks like these people are going to continue all night long. And we will have to raise the volume here so that we don't hear them. Do you agree? All right, let's do some sounds. First sound of the fifth chakra is the sound of what is called akar. Can you say akar? Okay. Akar means repeating the sound of ah. The first sound the baby makes, the first sound that most languages begin with. Ah. In America we say A, but it's ah. Ah. Would you like to repeat that with me? Okay. I'd like you to repeat after me. That may be better. In a while you will find out why. I could even tell you the stories about these sounds, but we'll save them for some other time. Please bring your hands up like this. Just open your, one thing, breathe in with your nose, okay? Just take a deep breath with your nose, and then let me make the sound, then you repeat it. Ah. 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 Oh. Mm. Mm. Slowly bring your hands down. Jaya Ganesha, Jaya Ganesha, Jaya Ganesha, Jaya. Jaya Ganesha. Jai Jai Ganesha. Jaya Ganesha Jai. Jaya Ganesha. Jaya Ganesha. Jai Jai Ganesha. Jai Jai Ganesha Jai. Jai Ganesha. Jai Jai Ganesha. Jaya Ganesha Jai. Please rub your hands and wipe your face. See the principle of Nadi Yoga. I call Nadi Yoga homeopathy of sound. You know why I call it homeopathy? Because in homeopathy, the weaker the solution, the stronger the effect. Did you know that? I went to a homeopathy factory in India. India is one of the largest producers of homeopathic medicines, by the way. And it's incredible what they do. They keep on making the solution weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And when there is nothing left, that's when the energy starts to explode. So when it says 30x, that means 30 times it has gone through different bowls. You know what they do is, they will put one drop of, let's say, any substance. Then from that bowl, they will take one drop and put it into another bowl. Then one drop from that into another bowl. Then to another, 30 times. That's the strongest. That's why the medical doctors laugh at it. They say, well, there's nothing in it. It's a sugar pill. But in Europe, for example, and in India, the first choice that the doctors have there, they will prescribe a homeopathic medicine. If it doesn't work, then they will go to chemistry. But most of the times it works for most of the conditions. That is not to undermine the Western medicine. I think they are absolutely miracles. They save lives. But you don't have to take that right away. give other systems a chance. So, when you use your own voice and you start to do homeopathy of it, something starts to happen. All of a sudden your physical body becomes so sensitive, you start to absorb the light from your own chakras because the way you use your own voice. But in order to do that, we first have to discover our own fundamental note. Everything in the universe is vibrating. So am I. So are you. We have to be able to hear our own fundamental note on which we are vibrating. Then you do the mantra on that tone. And you watch what happens to your breath. I tell you a small story about myself. I was born with a double pneumonia. I was a 5-pound-old baby in the month of June, the hottest month in India, and born with double pneumonia. I don't know how they miraculously saved me. There was a hot plaster they had to put on my ribs. I still have those marks on my chest, side of the chest. Anyhow, I survived. But until the age 12, I was in pain. I never played, I never went to any football or this or that, nothing. Because any time I would bend to pick up something, I would feel like something was falling out of my chest and it would start to hurt. So I would just walk straight like this. It was only when India and Pakistan were divided that I came to the Indian side, that I didn't meet, he found me. You know, you never meet a guru finds you, really. And from that day onwards, with a mantra and some kind of a thing he gave me to munch on, I never felt that pain again. And I have lived with this now till 84 years. I can still play tennis 2 sets. Go to the gym 2-3 times a week. Do some stretches, yoga stretches. With those impaired lungs, imagine if I didn't have that problem. I won't climb the Everest, I know that. It is the Nadi yoga. It's the way he taught me how to chant mantras. They are so powerful if you can just follow a few steps each day. Each day. Because you have to love to caress and love the notes. More sensitively you treat the musical notes, the more sensitive response you will get. You see, in India, Indian musicians, they use the word chuna. Chuna means to touch. Touch a note. Because you love it. You love the tones, you touch them. And in turn, they touch you back. Same principle applies in life. Let's do some more sounds. Jai Hanumana. Please breathe in with your nose. Jai Hanumana Jai. Jai Hanumana. Jai Hanuman Jai. Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman Jai. Jaya Hanuman Jaya. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman Jaya. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya 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 Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. 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 Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Hanuman. Hanuman mantras help us to overcome any fear. And it brings the light from the second chakra to make us fearless. Third chakra mantra is Sri Ram. Sri Ram. Let's chant that mantra. Please breathe in with your nose and repeat after me. Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. The green hues from the Anahat chakra, they enter the back, the upper vertebra of the back. Mantra used for that is Radha. Radhe or Radha. Let's see if we can invoke the presence of the beloved of Krishna. This time also I'd like you to raise your hands. Radhe, 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 Shyama milade, Radhe, 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 Radhe. Fifth, sixth, and seventh chakra mantras we will do tomorrow because we need really quietude for that. Let's be content with the Radha mantra. Feel good? Yeah? Maybe we have a couple minutes. If there is anybody with any question, I can answer. Anything that may not have been clear that I was talking about? That's a very good sign. Oh, somebody does have a question.
Hi,
All right.
sorry, I do. I was just wondering about how you find your tone. You said that each person has a healing tone or something that resonates with them.
Yes.
How do you find that?
You find it from chanting mantras until you reach a place where it's so easy for you to chant, and the tone of your breath and the tone of your voice. It's like the tone of your breath becomes like the background tambura. Tambura instrument, and then you match your voice with it. Just like when I play the tambura and I chant with it, I first tune the instrument to my breath. And then I play it and I hear a melody in it. I don't know what I am going to chant. Tambura tells me what I should be chanting. That's why it produces the kind of a Surya Akasha that my students just love it. Because that opens up your gates, the light of the chakras is flooding in. We just have to open ourselves to it. It's just like, if you are living in a basement and somebody says, if you come out, there is light out there in the sun. Maybe you can absorb some vitamin D. Same thing is the light of the chakras. And unfortunately, people think their chakras are blocked. I was shocked when I heard that. I came to this country in 1960 in America. And people were saying, my chakras are blocked. My chakras. I said, chakras are nirmal. Chakras are lotuses. They are perfect. What they were saying is that they are not receiving the light from the chakras. Then I said, oh my goodness, there must be the pathways of light that ought to be blocked. It's like the windows are closed. That's how I discovered the microchakras. For 7-8 months, my mind was groping. How can the chakras be blocked? What are they talking about? And then I don't know what time it was. I only found myself 10 o'clock in the morning, waking up at a desk in a yellow pad filled with my writings. I have no memory that I wrote anything. It was like an automatic writing for 5 hours. I sat for meditation at 5 in the morning. I got up at 10 on the desk. I found this thing in my own handwriting. 147 microchakras. What happens when they are open? What happens when they are blocked? 98 of which the publisher accepted to print. The other 49 I teach in private workshops and so on. It was nearly 10 o'clock. I don't want you to stay awake too late. Nor do I like to stay awake too late. I hope you all have a wonderful night.